Hello everyone and welcome to episode 153 of Moogle Go Around Radio, where I am tired and Paul is ill. Paul, I hope you feel better soon.
I'm slowly.
Yay! Apart from being ill, have you been up to much this week?
I got my clear
Yay.
P5S.
Congratulations.
Hit that success, and then that is my week. I was watching the Queens getting quite literally forgetting me.
Been a weird week. For me, the week has been cool. Concert next week. Crap. Strikes on the day I go. So trains are cancelled. Whoa! Trains! Yay! Hotel cancellation. Whoa! No! Yay! Whoa! But luckily we've got everything planned now, so everything hopefully now is smooth sailing. Hopefully, touch multiple sources of wood. Hopefully now, yeah, everything is okay. So hopefully next week we'll get to see, listen to The Distant World. So I'm excited. And I'm gonna go get a Wendy's. So it's all good. But joining us is someone who has access to multiple different places that have Wendy's rather than traveling half a country, probably, is Wrathoc. And I'm not jealous.
We do have lots of Wendy's and any other competitors around, that is for sure.
I mean, I probably wouldn't want it as much if I have access to it easily. It's like, I used to love going to KFC more, but now that we have one, I only go there once a month. But before that, I used to want to go there more because you want what you can't have.
Yeah, very fair.
So how are you doing? How was your week?
It was good. Kind of that same note of trying to get through P5, lots of Island Sanctuary, and let's see here, what else has been going on? Farm and Tomes. Outside of that, it's pretty much just day job, so not much interesting there on that and talk about. But yeah, it's kind of been my Final Fantasy life for a couple weeks.
Nice. So for me, as I've said that, and I've also been trying to clear P5S for Wrathoc, so hopefully we'll get it this weekend, maybe, probably, I don't know, hopefully, fingers crossed.
I think we can.
Yeah.
As long as I don't get everyone killed again.
To be honest, as long as I don't die from Devour. I either run too far or don't run enough. I hate that mechanic so much. Why is Devour so annoying?
Of how if I have someone zigzag circle,
it's not hard. It's just timing.
I mean, it's hard for me. I'm the off tank at that point. If someone dies, I have to then look space that someone is without a partner. Okay, let me just go there and help. Which actually, on our clear, I did very well with. I actually got complimented by other tank. Paul was on his A again. He was getting all these. Yay! Even I was focused, and I was hungry because I had a Burger King. Getting cold, really upset. I was like, Burger King with my loaded fries. No.
Yeah, so you with doing that tactic. Over the weekend, we wound up adopting the same strategy for our off tank. That if someone gets clipped, then they go partner up with them.
Yeah, it's I'll be honest. If I got clipped, I made sure to shout out that I was number 2 and I died. So that way they knew, the off tank knew that it was number 2. The number I'm at anyway. I think I'm 4 actually. All I know is yellow. I'm on yellow. Which is fine because PlayStation mechanics are also color coordinated as well. I love the fact that it's PlayStation mechanic, by the way. I know that's a different fight, but that's, I think, one of my favorite shout outs. I'm not biased.
I enjoy it if it's a healer dead. I've been raiding for a while. I see that. It's say when now the casters, Nixie has been in the group for a while, and I've just had Osm join this tier. Okay, not this tier. He joined a little.
Like I say, I felt like he'd been there for a little bit, not a long time, but.
No, he's been there for a tier or two. Yeah. It's also very hard because I do feel so sorry for other healer because he lives in South Africa and he gets load shedding.
Yeah.
So one weekend we'll be completely in the dark and won't be able to raid, won't be able to do anything. But then next weekend we'll be able.
What did you say he gets?
Load shedding, South Africa, where they cut off all your power to that.
Oh yeah, I've never heard it referred to as that before. I was trying to get that from the context of what you're describing,
and it's going to be everyone in England over winter.
Oh yeah, because of all the heating bills.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's pay a little bit pay as you go, gas and electricity. So during the week we just shop and come back. So
no, mine is monthly. So, but it hasn't gone up yet because they change once a year, and they changed mine before the price increase. So next year it's going to be insane, and I'm not looking forward to it.
You still have a bit more time to prepare.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess less about my issues with gas and electricity and more about the news. That also will affect. Anyway, why have I got so many tabs open? I'm not great at this.
It's the law.
Well,
You have
well, I
to
should
have
say I've got
tons of
multiple
tabs.
windows, not tabs. If I had multiple tabs, it's not a problem. But I'm like, okay, well, anyway, the 14-hour broadcast has been announced for Saturday, the 8th of October. This will start at 3 a.m. GMT. Sorry, Paul.
Such the
Yeah, what?
the 9th,
Yeah.
and the 10th, and the 11th.
I can't wait till the 14th hour podcast for
About
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh my God.
That's got to be a big celebration when it happens.
Watch them
when they
troll
finally
and be
bring
like,
that anime.
for the 14th hour broadcast, it's now 14, it's 15. We've added an hour.
An extra hour to cover the extra development time. Share what's going on.
Okay, so we know there's going to be a quiz show with the development team, a Q&A section, and a how do you like Heidelin as they tackle the Zodiac weapon challenge. Last year we got a reward if they beat the challenge, if I'm rightly, so maybe we'll get something again. Like, wasn't it we got the jacket if they beat the reward, if they beat the event?
Yeah.
So
So is that intent that they're going to, that's in what, 11 hours, complete a Zodiac start to finish?
yeah, they have to complete a Zodiac weapon from the start of the announcement till the end of it. Yeah. And my biggest question is, Sakaguchi is there, the creator of many Final Fantasy games that now my brain... I think he worked on 9, right? It's the father of Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy... Yeah, he's the father of Final Fantasy. And he's been...
talking to play 30s.
He made the Final Fantasy series. So he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did he work? Yeah, he produced 8. He produced 9. He was producer for 10, 11. So yeah, up till 12. Up to 12 he was producer, and 12 he was special thanks. So.
And then he just didn't work on 13. So all the ones I've played, just have a bit of that's good.
So
it's probably why 13 was so shit though, but I enjoyed it, even though Hope was. So he did get all right in that.
For me, it was always Snow that I didn't like, but that's only because Vanille looked so young. Like his wife, his supposed wife, looked way too young.
No, that's Sarah. That's Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. Sorry, yeah, Sarah.
Sarah did look too young.
Sarah looked like his child. If the plot had been that he was sad that he lost his daughter, it would have been fine. Yeah.
I mean, I liked Vanille, and I never remember never remember his name. He had like this cute little chocobo in his head, and then he had such a sad.
It's gonna bug me now.
I love the so witty. I love.
I want to say Satch or something like that.
Saz. SAZH.
Saz. That's it.
Yeah, because I really liked 13, but I just, for whatever reason, couldn't wrap my head around how the weapons upgraded. And so got up to chapter 12 or something like that, having dumped all of my upgrade mats into a single weapon that didn't really do much, and then getting stuck on a boss that I couldn't beat a DPS check on.
I got stuck at Eva for a very long time. Again, I was fucking young as shit. So, and I was like really I was like a dipshit. I was not the smartest ratchet, and so I was just sitting there going head first constant. In the end, I got there. All work. Eva was my first major. You had to solo it.
Yeah, I remember all those being pretty tricky because it was always 1-on-1 with their summon.
Summon unlocks. It's what had you? And then obviously I played 14. 14's a whole damn line. 5th, and then I'm probably going to play 16 at some point when she comes.
I am quite excited for 16. Unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation. So I have to wait a year.
How many good things? Wait, when's it coming out?
Summer, isn't it?
I think it's next summer.
Yeah.
But only on PlayStation is my understanding.
Yeah, only on PS5. Yeah, summer 2023 is what we know. So I think people are predicting July, right? June, July.
Now, if Sony releases a PlayStation PC Game Pass-esque system like Microsoft has, and they put it on there, well, then they just earn themselves a subscriber, because I'd subscribe if I can play that at launch. Just Game Pass is a great deal. I mean, for what it costs, assume it costs the same. That means if I can beat 16 in, within 4 months of it coming out, I basically break even just with the one game.
I could go into so much more detail about that, but Sony would never do... At least third party is possible, but they would never do first party games really on day one. They would just lose too much money. unlike Microsoft, who has a reservoir of money from all different things, Sony doesn't have that luxury.
I mean,
So-
isn't Sony getting?
Oh yeah, someone tried to
They
sue Sony because supposedly they take too much money. Yet the people don't understand that the amount of money that Sony takes is standard. Someone wants to sue them because they charge 30% for every digital purchase. But fun fact: Microsoft, Google, Apple, and EA,
Any company.
Ubisoft, every company that exists charge the standard 30%. The only company that doesn't charge the standard 30% is Epic. So if you're going to try and sue Sony for charging 30%, you're going to have to try and sue every company that is out there except Epic.
I'm about to say because I think Epic just make a lot.
Well, that Unreal. So they've got the engine that powers most games.
I think the only Square Enix game I look to is Smoker. Again, I'm into that. Again, PS5 excuses. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like.
But Square has to follow. I know that Yoshi P said they won't go and look at last gen, but they also have to because Capcom said, we've got Resident Evil 4 remake coming to PS5 and Xbox One, and everyone's like, oh my god, finally they're dropping last gen. And then during the recent announcements, they then announced the PS4 version of Resident Evil 4 remake. So it's and then everyone got really pissed off. So. Which, by the way, I don't think is a problem. I'm sorry, but Resident Evil 4 has been on every console that's ever existed ever, and the Resident Evil engine is very flexible.
It's like GTA 5.
Yeah, I could see maybe if it was for 9, because then you got to have limitations to support it. But 4 that would have been PlayStation 1.
2. It was GameCube and PS2, and it was exclusive to GameCube at first. Remember, because they said that the PS2 couldn't run the game. And then a year later, when the agreement ends, suddenly it was on PS2. The console that couldn't play it.
Surprise.
But the GameCube was, I think, the only one that got the cool controller. What was it?
For the limited edition.
It was like a chainsaw.
I don't know. I never owned a GameCube, so I wouldn't know on that one.
Yeah, if I'm right, they got a giant chainsaw controller.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty.
So.
Actually, kind of on the topic of the older consoles, even though I guess old is relative in this term, but didn't they say that Final Fantasy 14 is removing support from one of the consoles with 7.0? Granted, that's a year away, but
I don't think we've heard anything about that yet. I don't think we'll hear anything about PS4 being dropped for a long time.
They would drop stand because that's what's real.
Where the heck?
PC specs are actually the issue more than console right now. If you look at PC, the minimum specs for 14 is 4 gig of RAM.
Oh, wow. Well, my apologies then, everyone. I don't mean to spread rumors. I thought that was something they had talked about in the last live letter about certain systems being...
Yeah, they're removing certain PC. They're updating the PC specs because the current PC specs are a bit too low.
Must have been my misinterpretation.
This is the recommended, by the way, not even the minimum. The recommended specs, right, for 14. 4 gig of RAM.
Okay, I can do that.
And a GTX 460 with 768 megabytes of VRAM.
Yeah, I've already got that.
That's 1.0. No, that's got 1 second. They've been updated since then, surely. Endwalker.
Yeah.
750. A GTX 750 now. So, but still 4 gig of RAM. Yeah, minimum specs 4 gig of RAM.
I think when they start, then we'll start develop more. Yeah. But then I would have to get a whole new.
Yeah, I can see it being pushed to minimum requirements of 6 gig maybe, because the recommended are 8 gig right now. So, but it's okay. You got a PS5, so just move everything over to that, I guess.
I know we were talking about. Yeah. I have a question. What game?
I know it got leaked, so I kind of want 9.
When you say remastered, do you mean just up-resing, or they go in and completely rebuild the graphics to look like a modern?
They second. I'm not gonna repeat it. They fully go in, rebuild the game, update all the text, and kind of, I would say, tweak the gameplay, make it a little bit more presentable, that kind of thing. The first two that come to my mind right away with that would be either one of the N64 Zelda titles, if not both, or the original Pokemon Snap, which I know they just came out with new Pokemon Snap for the Switch, but the original one is still that is I think will forever be in probably my top 5 games of all time. So to be able to see that rebuild that with the
the new Pokemon Snap engine, and yeah, Golden.
Well, I think my favorite, my first dive.
Or maybe Drakengard. I never did finish Drakengard 3.
But now, for me, it's always going to be Final Fantasy 9. It was probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, even if the story wasn't that good and a lot of the characters weren't that good. I just want more Vivi, if I'm honest.
Someday I need to play through that. I missed that game growing up.
It was so bad in the UK. You had to. I'm not joking. You had to cheat if you wanted to get the best. Well, I guess it wasn't the best weapon in the game, but there technically was the best weapon in the game. And if you're in Europe, you had to cheat. You had to cheat. I'm not like, oh, you had to cheat because hard, but no, you really did have to cheat the system to get it.
No, I believe it. I remember kind of a similar line. So Drakengard 2, for example, I couldn't get past like the third chapter or something because there was a certain cutscene that would play that would my game broke every time I played through there. And like I considered using cheats to jump ahead, but
this isn't exactly cheats, but this was like you had to get to the end of the game in a certain time. If I'm right, you had to get to the final area of the game in about under 15 hours, right?
Okay.
But because the frame rate in Europe was slower than the American version because of the 50 hertz versus 60 hertz, that meant the cutscenes actually ran slower than the American version, which meant that if you watch the cutscenes, by the way, because you couldn't skip cutscenes technically, if you watch the cutscenes made the game longer than the actual time needed to get the weapon.
Oh no.
Because of the extra delay in the frame rate, it made the cutscenes just that little bit longer that you couldn't actually get to the weapon. So you had to during the cutscene, the PS1 would save where you were just before the cutscene, and so you had to, when the cutscene started, you had to open the disk drive and then shut the disk drive, and then it would error out and skip the cutscene and go straight to the gameplay. That was the only way you could get to the weapon.
That's crazy. Coding is such a phenomena of just how things can interact with each other in unintended ways.
I was like, not Final Fantasy, but I heard like everyone joked about there being a level select for Sonic 3D, and nobody could work out how to do it. A programmer came out that there was actually a safety code in the game that if you knocked the console, because there was like if you knocked the console, it would bug out. So they had a safety code in the game where if you nudged the cartridge, it would reboot the game into a level select. Games, you never know what they do. So yeah, with him anyway, we'll try and get back on topic of the 14-hour broadcast. With Sakaguchi being the father of Final Fantasy, do you think we'll see they'll like do an older Final Fantasy crossover?
Or like a game event or something else? Yeah,
like we got we had the Lightning event, and we had we've had the Lightning event, and we've had the Final Fantasy 15 event. Do you think we'll get like a Final Fantasy 1 to 9 event?
I mean, we're already
1 to 12, 1 to 10. What's that, sorry, Paul?
I mean, they had a lot of success, it seemed, with the Pixel remasters. So maybe like something from that generation. Unless the 9 with if the 9 remasters the next come out, maybe they'd use that to help build hype for the remaster.
Well, we've got Crisis Core in December, but
bloody advert.
And you know what? I'm excited, Paul. I went out, I pre-ordered my steel tin. I want my steel tin, so I want that game. Oh, I want that game so badly. Expect streams of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core whenever it comes out, December 13th. So
maybe we'll get a Crisis Core crossover. I'm actually surprised. Cool. Well, maybe part of me's not, but there's not more crossovers with the older games. But then again, there's so many references to the older games throughout the main story and all the side content too. So it's kind of like you're always getting the shout outs and callbacks to the older games.
They kind of add that stuff to actual.
Well, look at the Omega series.
Or the
24 man.
The current patch is Final Fantasy 4, right?
Yep, Fantasy 4.
So technically, we don't really need. It could be cool having like those little events at the 50.
Meet the characters.
And, that would be cool. Get a bit of glam. Yeah. Will they though?
I mean, just go using 4 for example. I mean, what was Terra? Was that the? I never played 4, so but we know we got a Noctis glam, so you could get a glam from each of the main characters.
I mean, we kind of have don't we have one of the tome gear? The tome gear was inspired of the Endwalker tome gear was inspired by a lot of the Fantasy 4 stuff, if I'm rightly. So although we don't have it in the game, it's kind of in the game. Like technically we've got some of the Fantasy 1 stuff in Crystal Tower, like the onion gear for
Right.
Paladin. But
But
it'd be
how
I
it could
don't
be
know.
really, like how hard it is to do a crossover when you really put other game aspects already.
Yeah.
It's too
Maybe
late
that's
now,
why we
but
don't see it more.
it's too late. But I would have liked to seen something just to celebrate, even if it was just to celebrate the fact that it's been 35 years of Fantasy. Like it would have been cool if they'd done an event with like different unique sets of armor from each game. Not every job, but like Dragoon gets the cane armor or whatever, and Paladin might get because I know I did mention the Crystal Tower Onion Knight set, but come on, the graphics have improved a little bit since then. So they could do a new version of that, couldn't they? Fancier, spikier, onionier.
I mean, I definitely think they could do a Paladin armor 13. Sorry, Lightning Return, because she can't turn it. I don't know so much about the.
Well, 9, you could grab Vivi's outfit, which is the Black Mage outfit that I use for White Mage. Then from 7, you could probably grab Tifa's outfit for Monk.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna see that every time I see them. Thinking, how Tifa was that a Prime Minister thing? I remember that thing.
Wait, what?
Don't you remember that Prime Minister where where you got caught watching adult videos?
I was trying to think of wait, did someone cosplay Tifa in the background of one of the cameras recently or something? But I forgot about that.
I would like that. I would love if he accepted the fact that that video leaked and he just turned up in a Tifa cosplay to the government meeting to apologize. I don't know who he is, but he would have got my vote.
I mean, I've got respect for the dude. He's looking up for what is while he's a person of power, and that for it to be
look, he's just bookmarking it for later. He still has a personal life, okay?
I think it's quite funny. You have the point. You got the normal prime ministers that probably just normal adult movies, and you have this guy. All right, then you got my vote, prime minister.
I don't know what you stand for or what you do, but we know for what you we know what you stand for, but.
I'd like to see. What was the? I guess we've already got it. That the thief glamour for the
and then nothing from 11 because
although
I love 11.
One Piece crossover, Yoshi make it happen.
With the what's it called? Amaterasu from the 11 event.
That's true. We've had I joke about we had a few things from 11, and technically we've had the Shantoto event back in the day.
I think the only crossover we're going to get will probably be when that comes out. It's been a couple of months.
Just picturing Yoshi P in front of a mirror going, I want a crossover. Yes.
Yes.
Honestly, that probably will makes it a lot easier as far as convincing people when the person in charge is the same person.
By the way, before we go into the next topic, I just want to bring up Rip Babylon's Fall because we're talking about crossovers. I asked if there'd ever be a crossover with 14, and then they said if there was enough interest. I still find it weird that the armor in Babylon's Fall was ripped out of 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was not a game I ever got to play, so.
The first 20 levels is the Satasha gear. I'm not even joking. It really is the Satasha gear. They asked for permission to use it in the beta. I know that for certain, but I didn't know they would using it for the full game. I thought they were just they
just never took it back up.
Yeah, I thought it was just that the armor wasn't done yet, and they wanted some placeholder armor, and technically Square helped with Babylon's Fall, so they're like, "Can we use this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's still there. So if you don't own Babylon's Fall, you can't anymore because they removed the sale of the game. So it is no more. Well, we got kind of a version of it from the Fate, right? It's that one that looks a bit like it from. Or am I thinking of something else?
I mean, obviously, Crisis. I don't, but which I think.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly from things, he gives it to Cloud or some point.
Yeah.
He was dying. Here you have my bust. All right,
yeah, that's exactly what happens.
I've only seen snippets, so.
Technically, that's also Cloud's memory because he doesn't remember what happened as well. So you're perfectly canon.
But now everything's changed, isn't he? He's alive now. Isn't that the canon?
Yes and no. Well,
we'll have to see with part 2.
I still go on the theory that it's a parallel world. Okay, my Final Fantasy VII prediction. I predict that I predict that in the sequel we'll find out that Zack is alive in a different parallel world, and that we will play through the main game like normal, but we'll have snippets of where we jump to the other parallel world and we play as Zack. Because Zack probably plays a lot like Cloud, it means that they don't have to they still have to put effort into it because there's a new model and some new animations, but the animations can be almost reused from Cloud. Yeah, it'll just be twists, you know what I mean? So it's not exactly the same. And then the third game, what we'll find out is Sephiroth is a threat in both parallel worlds, and you have to kill him at the same time in both worlds. So the final fight will be a switch between the main universe and the parallel universe, fighting wherever this big bad version of Sephiroth is. That would be a reference to the original game where, although it wasn't parallel worlds, one of the final fights in that was you had to split your party, because there was multiple different people you had in your party in 7. I think it was 9. I might be wrong. Sid, Vincent, Yuffie, Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, whatever, I forgot names. Anyway, I think there's about Barrett. I think there's about 9 in total. So no, 6. Yeah, 6, because Yuffie and Vincent are optional, so they don't always count. But anyway, the fight was 2 different. You had to fight the same boss in 2 different areas because he had to die at the same time. So my theory is they'll do that in a twist where you have to fight in the 2 different dimensions at the same time.
That would be. But then again, I've never played 7 in 7. I played a little bit of the Master, but other than that, I've never seen the Sephiroth record. I've always wanted to see a week because to see that action in Final Fantasy 14.
Yes, please.
And I want to be maybe that'll be the crossover Sephiroth fight.
And I want it to be crazy as well. I want it to be. I want it, if it ended up being like a trial fight, I want it to be like 4 totems instead of 1 because of how long one of the I know you never played it, Paul. But Sephiroth in the final fight had the spell where he goes up, blows up the sun, and then the sun slowly expands, engulfing every planet on the way until it gets to Earth, and then it just shows it hitting your team for 9999 damage. I want that to be an animation in 14.
I mean, that could be like the enraged DPS check right there.
Well, no, sorry, 999. It put you to 1 health, so you could heal up. So I want it to be like why are words hard today? The face change. Make it so that it takes everyone down to 1 health, but then he monologues afterwards. So you've got plenty of time to heal up.
He monologues afterwards, but he actually stabs one of your healers through the back. And so that other healer, knowing that it's going to be like the white mage getting fucking stabbed, it's like, you're the shield healer, you're like, how am I supposed to do this? And it's like ticking down.
Or even worse, makes one of your DPS stab the healer. gives one of the DPS the debuff betrayal, and then
betrayal.
They stab one of the healers.
The DPS villain story, the origin story. You rescued me way too many times, healer.
I kind of want to suggest a betrayal debuff now that for one of the fights as a twist.
You have to find. You just got to bring a bit of Among Us into this. You need to find the betrayer.
Because it would just be an extra coding for it would just be using the charm debuff, right? Really?
But
because charm, you already attack except now you kill.
Auto attacks. Yeah, you just stab.
Well, give it so that you give it like its own like an attack, like make an actual bar appear. Yeah. You're welcome, Square. You're welcome for the betrayal debuff effect.
For you. You got the team that can code and like draw and all that. We'll just tell them.
Yeah, we'll just give them suggestions. Yeah.
Good suggestion, and let them work with it.
I mean, I know about the mechanic in 8, so that's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. But first we gotta beat hungry carbuncles. So before we can get to that,
we're close. Like when we just need a clean run. We've got it for the most part.
Yeah. Anyway, talk about Fantasy 4. Talk about Fantasy 4 being part of the story and crossovers. Technically, Final Fantasy 4 is part of the current MSQ, kind of. We've gone into the void to go try and save Azjaya. But spoilers ahead, I guess. But come on, it's been a while. It's been a while. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers. But yeah, we're going into the void in an expedition to try and save Azjaya. Oh, and before we get there, we do go around a bit of a filler quest, I guess, but it adds to the story. Where we've got to meet what are clearly gods of this world with the alchemists who have made a new body for the dragon.
And he's hot.
He is tall.
Yeah, I'm curious if we'll see more like trying to think of, I guess I would say like lifelike Mehmets, because up till now, like the Mehmets were all always, small little, minion sized, clearly little robots. But it's like, are we gonna get side stories where they're like rogue Mehmets running around that look just like other people?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's because it's cost. Like that, it's only because he has that riches that we nearly stole by accident and they told us off. I still feel like it's not our fault. We were just told there was treasure there and we're adventurers. We had no idea we're trying to steal from you. We were just told it was riches that nobody had ever got to before. And we, being the warrior of light, had plot armor and can get there.
I'm just saying, like, the traps weren't very good. If just saying, like, we're not that overpowered, and we can get. Just say one of the days you're gonna have a strong traveler come take your
or an army. If there's that much money, an army.
Yeah. Well, I guess we needed the story. You needed the warding map to break the seals. So that's how I interpreted why it hadn't been plundered already.
But that would have been found eventually.
I also really wanted the person had a map, and why was the map not been taken custody, burned or anything? They're really bad at this, keeping this secret, aren't they? It's like, why is this map out here? Did you not make sure? Okay, whatever, fine. Oh, Estinian's gonna overpay for it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Estinian's been around Alpha Node too much, and by too much I mean 5 minutes.
So going with the new, do you think we might see Varshan become a permanent trust member in any capacity? So. You think just for the duty? Or
I don't think we will.
Next patches.
I hope for the next patches until, like, say, I do think he might, because obviously we're still trying to find his sister, so I do think until we find his sister, I think if, they're not these sides, I know we're...
I hope not. I want to explore the void more. I'm glad it wasn't just go in there for a dungeon, leave, don't go back sort of deal.
I like how they've done it. It's like nice, open, so literally...
But can we get rid of... Can we not do the void in the next expansion, though? Please.
Well, no, we're going to go, like, travel across seas, right? Find another civilization, put our noses into their... I mean, do you think we're going to try and save the 13? Like, in these patches?
Us. Yes.
It sounds like we are.
Yeah, of course we are. It's us.
Or at least stabilize it or something.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they didn't say you have to complete the Eden raids to continue the patches, because one of the thoughts I had was we're going to go get Eden and bring it to the 13th to try and resurrect the world like they did in the empty. Maybe we'll make our own Eden.
Yeah, we'll just ask Sid.
Make Eden.
I don't know how we're going to, like, transfer that big-ass ship called Eden through a small little hole.
Stick it in a memory crystal. That's how we brought everything
remember, Eden was a summon Eden was a summon in 8. So why don't we reverse engineer and make it a summon in 14?
I'm fine with that.
But not for the summoners, but like we somehow summon it.
No, give it to summoner.
Nah.
Make summoner mandatory.
I mean, I summon it every time I use my mount.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. We'll ask a mix of Sid and the Alchemist. Summoner level 100 ability.
I'll take that.
I mean,
that or Protocarby. I want that as level 100.
I'd rather have the really OP abilities from 11 for summoner that they added later on. Like, it wasn't okay. It wasn't OP for bosses because balance reasons, but Summoner got the 2-hour ability to summon Odin, which would insta-kill anything that was lower level than you. Like, it had to be like 10 levels or something like that lower than you, and then it would kill. And they also got an AoE. You could either do that to kill stuff, or you had an AoE version of Paladin's Hallowed Ground, where Summoner could bring out Alexander, and it would give everyone invincibility, and then every 2 seconds, I think it was, the amount of invincibility went down. Like, you were like invincible for like 90%, 70%, 50%, and so forth until the time ran out. Yeah. So give Summoner Odin and Alexander.
I'm also okay with this.
Actually, what summon would they get next? Because surely they'll get something new at some point. Because that'd be the whole point of the change, right?
I would think so, but it's kind of hard to get because we got now the Eggies turn into the 3 core primals.
Yeah.
At 90, but you don't have. It's not like there's another. It's not like you had a Bahamut Eggie or a Phoenix Eggie that would then change. So I don't know. I really like. I liked Old Summoner. I like New Summoner a lot. I made it for MSQ. I made it last Savage tier. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm really curious to see where they take it. Do we get the other summons? Like, will we get a Leviathan? Will we get Ramu, Odin, Alex? But how do you balance that? How do you make them unique and different? Like, Summoner's really flexible right now because you can summon them in any order, but if you had like 7 different summons to pick from, is it going to wind up becoming a situation like you had with the original Astrologian cards where everyone just wants like 2 specific cards or something like that, and they skip all the other summons?
I mean,
so I
will say the easiest way is just make them glamours like they already talked about, but I want them to actually be thing in the game. I don't want like glamoured Ramu over Garuda. I want Ramu.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, for anyone that hasn't played, go try 11. 11 had cool summons. Actually, don't go play 11. It's too old now. Don't. I still find it funny that they added jump. Like, I don't know when they added it, but I found that they added jump as a feature later on. And rather than adding it as a keybind, you have to write /jump for your character to jump. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so you can now jump in 11, which is technically an emote, I guess, and that's how they got around it. So many bad things about 11. I love that game, but so many bad things.
But going back to the story.
Yeah, story.
We go into the void after obviously creating this atom.
Big
giant mouth-looking thing.
Yeah.
To enhance the power of void, so we can go to the void. So we go to 13. We go there. And it's like, very voidy.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I think we were also shocked to how normal it looked, though. Like I think we were expected to go there, and they're like, everything's on fire, and that fire is also on fire. But no, it was like cold. Calm. Yeah, that fire is also cold.
I mean, when you think of like void, dark.
Yeah.
But going through it, like obviously we had to fight off Void Scent. But then we find a Void Scent that's familiar to us. And obviously it's familiar to us because connected to Xenos. It was his Reaper voice
friend.
At the time.
Xenos friend.
And, we kind of see them and we're like really shocked, like, oh, could this be like Zeos reincarnated or some shit on Void Scent to try and kill us again? But no, we just find out that they're their own person. I can't remember what happens. I think we like share like that.
No, we use plot crystal.
Oh yeah, plot crystal, and then out
crystal
of nowhere they
Machina.
become a here?
Yeah, I think it's a here, isn't it?
They become a here Reaper, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. And then we become friends with them. We start I think we started trying to find a name for the Void Scent or the Reaper. That's Curie. And then they come with the name Zero. Now, I got annoyed at it. I don't like that name. For one reason I don't like that name is that my co-tank is named Zero. And I didn't like that because I really liked that Reaper. And then they gave her, and I was like, no, this character is but she's pretty cool. She has this ability to turn Void Scent into crystal. So that's pretty cool.
By the way, major Fantasy 4 spoilers. And possible Fantasy 14 spoilers, I guess. Major spoilers. Major possible future maybe. Do you want to know the name of the main villain of 4 as a twist?
Go for it.
Zeramus.
Oh, fuck. More fucking zeros.
Zeramus is the spirit of hatred of a rogue. Now, I know it's a Reaper, but kind of acts roguish, wouldn't you say? In a way, from their behavior, with their desire to get payment at all times. They will always want money.
Yeah. Always is.
Well, equivalent exchange, should we say? They want, because of the world it is. They need something. They need to get something equivalent to what they're doing or close to it.
I honestly wish IRA had Zero has, but then I just found out I'm still a nice person, regardless if I get anything for it.
Yeah, Zeramus appears in the core of the moon. Now, I don't know about you, but we've had a lot of different things involving moons. Sorry,
I had heard about that, and I wonder, because I don't see Zero becoming like the big bad at the end of this these patches. But I could see where we learn that Zero using Memoria corrupts them and they then turn into Zeramus and we have to defeat them to save them and turn them back and that sort of thing.
Well, Zeramus possesses Golbez in the original story, so because Golbez thinks he's bad. Golbez was a legendary hero, and then he got possessed and turned bad, if I'm rightly. So, and then Golbez wanted to start a war, like, technically against Zeramus, but he kept it secret, kind of. If I'm rightly, it's been a while since I played 4, and by a while I meant last year, or was it this year? This year probably. Time is space. But time is space and bendable. So yeah,
being in the void, unfortunately, we go through a dungeon that has one of the, what are they, like the guardians of like, the 4 guardians, the 4.
The 4 fiends,
the 4 fiends,
the 4 archfiends. Is it?
We turn one to Crystal, thanks to Zero. We get through that. It's like, okay, that's pretty. But then the big bad.
First we kill him. Then we meet Zero, give her the name, and then we find out he's still alive, and we have to kill him again, right? Remember, because of the instance.
Yeah.
And then he turns into Crystal.
Void sent them.
Yeah. And he was known for being a fast respawn. He had cheats on.
He had fast regeneration.
Cigar Megaloni or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
Says, I think Soul Golbez was also Celsa's brother. Which they could twist into maybe making related to Zero at somehow. So I know not Cecil technically, but imagine if they twist that Golbez is related to Zero. Or
Zero.
You could the U person that I can never say the name of. You know, that's technically from the 13th and who used to be a warrior light until Elidibus saved him.
From the Warring Triad.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say ukulele, but that's not his name.
You can remember right.
My favorite character, ukulele.
I actually have a ukulele.
It's like I was doing
tired, I would go grab it and be like strumming.
It's like I was doing the crafting quest line, so I couldn't name one of the houses in Ishgard, so I just kept calling them House of Duran Duran. Charlie Horse from House Duran Duran.
But getting through that, the cool person, ruler, we could use called Golbez, because that's what it could be, or Golbez.
Yeah.
I
just want the fire looks so cool.
They have defeated one of my lords, though she was kind of low power.
Yeah.
And so one of them were like, I could, but in return, if I do kill them, I want more of the dragon. Because they've been feeding that dragon off the dragon. Azura,
I said the name earlier, now I can't say it. Azajaya. Search for Azajaya.
And they're actually feeding the essence of we know that she's still alive. There's still some, be that what that may, that could be. They're still trying to. So then we have to fight another boss, which is like the most hairy situation.
And I will clear that extreme one day.
But it was a fun fight. She was like the hair fiend. I don't know what to call her other than like
Barbara.
Mother. Huh? Oh yeah, Barbaricia.
Barbaricia. Well, I'll be honest, the first time I did the story dungeon, when she jumps up in the air and does the cutscene, I literally just said, "Step on me, please," and then I died. So.
Step on me, hair mommy, feel it.
There's a lot of mummies in this patch. I feel like the Warriors of Lust had some involvement with this patch. I don't know how, but I feel like they somehow suggested these characters to Yoshi P.
There has been a lot of wife. I have to,
and I want them. I want them on for our Halloween episode. I'm going to try and ask them to get on for Halloween. I feel like that'd be a good episode to have them on, right? Halloween, sexy Halloween times with the Warriors.
Sexy Halloween.
I'm gonna have to try.
But obviously, we fight this, and then we have Zero turn her Barbaricia to Crystal. Send them to Crystal, or just kill her out.
Turn her to Crystal, don't we? I thought.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because else they respawn or regenerate.
Yeah. So
just her
Crystal.
Their version of the Link Pearl, that the floating staffs went silent.
Yeah, and we just put Barbaricia in our back pocket with the other one because we had like a memory fragment with the other one. So it's like, you know what? Let's just put you in our back pocket. Now,
by the way, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now that there's gonna be an instance in 6.4, maybe 6.5, where all the fiend crystals shatter, and then we have to fight a weakened version of them in an instant spell.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
That sounds like a safe bet.
because you fought them all again. If I'm rightly in 4, near the
Yeah.
end of the game, you fight them in a gauntlet. You beat them, and then they come back, and you fight them again in a gauntlet style, where you have to fight them one after another.
You think it'd be instance? Or you think it might be like the 6.4 dungeon where all the
It could be a
bosses
dungeon.
are?
Yeah. But the issue is,
Fiend.
they've got. I can't remember which one it is. I think I'm going to say his name wrong. It's something Ruby. But he was a gentleman fiend in a way, where he would before his fight he would actually heal your entire party because he doesn't want to fight you weakened.
Oh,
So
that's
that
nice.
would have to, yeah.
He's a man of honor.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to. They'll have to put that in the fight in some way as well. Like, so yeah, so it could be a dungeon.
Because I kind of got the
knows?
impression that the next one, because there's, I don't remember their names, the fire and the water ones, which sounds like it's going to be a tag team battle.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that'll be the next trial or like they'll both be one of the 2 bosses out of the next dungeon. So I was trying to think. I kept going like through the timeline. Like, okay, so there's 4 fiends and then Golbez, and there's 5 patches. So if we did like 1 boss each patch, then that works out way. But
we have the potential of the dragon as well. Remember?
True.
So
yeah.
because Golbez had a shadow dragon in 4. So now I don't know about you, but we've got a dragon that's being corrupted by ether and also owned by a person called Golbez. So, not looking good.
Then, like after that, Zero passed. Too much power, I've used. And so, in our infinite wisdom, we're gonna bring back a Void Cent who has been born in the Void, become one with the Void, into Arshard, the first, or the Source. Is the Source?
Yeah, the Source.
And then basically what happens at that point is like she rests and then she's a sustenance from food. And I find it really interesting how she eats food.
Yeah.
Suck up all the safe. Like, no mess. I wish I could do that. Just
Elrith said they'll fuse in like E7S, so it'll be a water fire fiend. Yeah, I could see it be. I don't know if they'll fuse because of maybe in the extreme, but for the trial, I could see it like being like remember Garuda and Ifrit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, sorry for the yawning. I'm really like tired.
Because it's late.
So,
so
20 past 12 on a Friday.
Oh.
But that's where we kind of leave off. Like we're just back at Rasahan. Zero is trying to learn of her world, of her memories of Moria, her clan. She basically turned around and said, "I do not give 2 shits." It's like, "Oh yeah, we want to try and help that one." I don't know what the hell you want with that. I was like, "Okay, I don't want to help it then."
I will say I'll give credit to them. They did bring up consent. Because we brought Zero over to our world without asking while they're unconscious. I will bring up the fact that they did bring up questioning if they were okay with it and if we should send them back.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, always ask for consent.
Yeah, consent is important. If you don't know, go watch the T video.
In a dire situation, if a person's dying or in trouble or they're passed out like Zero, then you have to make it up for them and stay by their side until you ask for consent.
Yeah, make sure they know what's going on.
And never force anyone to drink.
Yeah, that's bad. They might want a tea when you came in, but that doesn't mean they still want tea. Go watch the T video. It's great. I don't know if you've seen the T video, Wrathoc, for consent.
That's a new one for me. I've not heard of that one.
I will have to link it. It's a great video to teach people consent. Like, just because your friend wanted tea last time doesn't mean they want tea now. See? And that's where we started wrapping things up, right? I think with the story, right?
Yeah, and that's where it was just like, yep, we're done. See you in the next patch.
Yeah, I haven't done the bonus quest yet. So has anyone else done it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's
an
extended story afterwards, but I haven't actually done it yet. You know that creepy eye you saw at the end, the little cute little heck eye? Supposedly there's a quest line involving that. So I need to go back and do that at some point. I also need to go do Hildebrand, so we'll probably get that done next week, ready so that we're ready for Relic Weapons when that drops in October, which I think everyone now agrees it's October 18th, right? At least we don't know the date yet, but it's probably October 18th. And Wrathoc's going to grind all of them.
There's a non-zero chance of that, unfortunately. I wound up doing that for the Shadowbringer ones because I was farming. So I did Deliberate Savage, and I was getting so much stuff out of that I just kind of got to a point where it's like, well, I might as well just finish them. And so I did.
One day I'll do the Savage version of that fight. One day.
It's a lot of fun. It takes time. I think now like there are groups that like you can join. If anyone's over on Crystal, I know a community. You just hit me up. I can send you their way. That they do that and Baldician Arsenal. Oh yeah, you can come over to Crystal now, can't you?
Yeah, but to show me. I want to do it. I want to get the clear. I can't remember. You get a Cerberus, like yeah.
Yeah, that's where you get the Cerberus mount. So like, I don't think it'll be like a one night thing, but it'll be like, okay, you show up every week for the next like 3 or 4 weeks, and they'll get you the clear because they have it down to a science on what to do.
I mean,
what
they
to
said
bring,
that about Baldician Arsenal, but I streamed it and I one shot it on stream.
Well, yeah, but I think with
DRS.
I don't know. Maybe at this point, I don't know because so with Baldician, like for me, the first time I went to Baldician, we got to Ozma, but I didn't survive the fight. I got sucked out just before the end. Second time we didn't get that far. Third time I got the clear. With DRS, though, I joined a group when I did my clear. I had joined a group that was effectively like of the 48 of us, probably 35 plus were brand new to the thing. Like we were just figuring it out as we went. So it took a long time. I mean, we got there in the end. We got there the last night before, or not the last, but the last week before Endwalker dropped was when we finally got the clear. But so I don't know if the group, because I know with Baldician Arsenal, the group goes by Cafe, and with Baldician Arsenal, they bring a certain number of people that they know, like they have a core group of members that will run the fight over and over and over because they enjoy it, and can basically carry people who are brand new, have maybe never even used lost actions and stuff, carry them through there. As long as you listen to what they say, it'll get you through. So they might have DRS down to that level of science at this point. I don't know because I've not been back into DRS since the group I was with cleared. So it's possible that they might do one night, one clear sort of deal. But I would expect that if anyone's going to DRS, though, probably if you want to do DRS, my recommendations are farm up a bunch of lost actions, especially the deep essences, because those are basically mandatory just to survive because of the extra HP they give you. And find a group that'll run and just plan for it to take a couple of weeks at this point. And you'll eventually get through it. Watch guides. It's really not too bad. Like if you're doing extreme trials, I would say it's no harder than extreme trials from difficulty, with the exception of maybe a couple mechanics that are probably savage level difficulty. The big hitch is that you have the thrice come room mechanic, which is if you get hit 3 times, you're dead. Doesn't matter. And the debuff doesn't time out like it does in normal. It'll time off at the end of each fight, but it doesn't time off during the fight. And then if you die,
normally it doesn't time off either.
I think it has like a 1 minute or 2 minute cooldown, so it's a long timer. Yeah. But I think it will eventually fall off. But in Savage, it doesn't fall off until the fight's over. And like Baldician Arsenal, normal resing doesn't work. It's healer LB3 or what is it? Lost Sacrifice, I think.
Yeah. Well, you raise someone,
or Lost Arise, something like that. Yeah. So so you just got to stay on your toes. And all the bosses have an rage, so it's not like you can kind of just focus on dodging. You still have to pump out DPS still. So it's challenging. It's a fun challenge. I really enjoyed it and would recommend folks give it a go if you like that sort of content. But definitely, especially stocking up on lost actions. Getting haste gear if you can, like farming up the augmented Bojin gear. The haste earring is pretty easy to get at this point. Yeah, Red Mage with a 1.8 or something, whatever it was, GCD is quite fun. I will say that firsthand.
Did you hear it's going to be on live next to Sakaguchi himself? Yeah. We'll talk about. I wonder if it's going to be a crossover because of it. Like I was saying, I would like to see like all different Final Fantasy games that he made on as a crossover. Maybe so. Everyone got confused when he posted. He talked about a while back. He was like, he posted a picture of the Final Fantasy 9 logo and saying we're going to redo this, and everyone's like, oh my god, a remaster! Is he announcing the remaster on Twitter for some reason? What's going on? This is amazing. And then an hour later, there was a picture of him and his friends dressed in the costumes in Final Fantasy 14 because they redid the photo in the game. Hello?
Oh, sorry, I had to.
Okay.
I had to open the door for my cat. Apologies.
Okay. I thought I scared everyone off.
No, sorry. I thought I had muted the mic so you didn't hear the door opening. But
yeah.
It was that or listening to. Okay, good. Yeah. I saw that. It was like it seemed like because 9 was not one I had played, but it's like, oh man, if they're doing a remaster, maybe I'll give it a go this round. And then no, it's just a big group photo. cool photo.
We do know there's an anime coming out next year for 9. So, oh, should we say we know there's an anime coming out for 9? I don't know if it's next year or what, but
I mean, December. Is
oh, well, we know that what Paul will be doing in December.
Oh yeah,
Only
obviously.
Dragon Age.
Where's it airing?
December something. But
But like, is it a Netflix gig
oh yeah,
or
Netflix.
I'm kind of sad that it's Netflix.
me back in at the rate they're making shows?
I mean,
traded
No,
it.
I wish it was.
Netflix, they have, like,
I wish it had been Amazon. That way, Paul could be like, "Okay, everyone, we're doing watch-alongs for the entire month on Moogle Ground."
yeah.
Yeah, if it had been on Amazon and it had been on Prime, you technically could stream it. So, like, no raid this week, everyone. We're watching episode 1 again. But Paul, we watched it yesterday. Nope, again.
Nope.
Again.
I'm only saying this because I'm the same way when it comes to shows. So,
I mean, I was still trying to finish off Cyberpunk.
no worries. Sleep well, Light Gaming. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, that's what I want to go do. I'm gonna go sleep too. I'm fucking tired.
So, on that note, we should wrap it up. Wrathoc, have you got any shout outs and where can they find your amazing content?
I mean, as for my stuff, I'm just over at Twitch TV/Wrathoc. Variety of stuff over there, family friendly channel. Basically I keep it nothing more intense than as far as I say, Saturday morning cartoons, so anyone can watch. But otherwise, yeah, that's just kind of cruising along on my end. Thank you very much for letting me join you all again. It's been a lot of fun.
No worries. Thank you for stopping by.
It has, and I'm sorry that I'm ill in these because I'm quite energetic. But the wrath, Mother Nature, her hands grabbed by me.
I hope you feel better pretty soon.
Yeah, I hope you feel better soon,
Yeah,
Paul.
all I'm doing is trying to.
I think that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, we
Just
can
wait. Yeah, just wait for your body to churn through it.
Come on, antibodies, go do your job. Chili, where can they find you and your amazing?
Well, you can find me here on twitch.tv Moogle Ground Radio. Also, remember to go give us a review on Bonus Roll. If I can remember the command. There we go. I did it. Go give us a follow. Go give us a review on Bonus Roll. Tell us how bad we did or how good we did. And give us that's the amount of stars that you think that we deserve. Thank you.
Very much.
And Paul.
You can find me at Paul Metal 1 on Twitter. I show the weekends on MGR and Final Fantasy stuff. But yeah, you can also find me hopefully a little bit more often because I do on my other account and try and make. But other than that, yeah, I don't do much. I've been trying to do videos. Obviously, that's been a backburner, haven't it? I have so much footage that could last me a lifetime, but just not the time to edit.
Okay.
I need Time Machine.
Also,
I'm gonna end the. What's up?
Everyone watch Sandman on the show or read the book, either one.
Okay. I'll see you all in 2 weeks then with the next episode of the podcast. Goodbye.
Have a great one, y'all.